Hello everyone. Picking up from where we left in the previous video, we talked a lot about momentum in the previous video. Today we're gonna continue with that and talk about the market structure. Um, the reason why it's really important to understand the market structure is because uh, that is the key to you understanding when you should start to get interested in getting in on a trade, right? There's a whole lot of process before that. You gotta figure out the direction, you gotta figure out where the trend is going, you gotta figure out the reason behind, and we'll talk about that in the upcoming videos also. But then this is the topic that is gonna help you try and figure out when you should start to get interested, right? Not when you should pull the trigger, but when you should start to get interested. In a particular trade that you're watching, right? Market structure in simple words, it's mm, basically the structure that market keeps putting on. Um, like we talked about the states of the market, right? The structure would fall under that umbrella to some extent, and it's going to be if we are on an uptrend, the structure is going to be higher highs and higher lows, right? If we are in a downtrend, the structure is going to be lower highs and lower lows. If we are in any other state like a range or a channel, that would be the market is not making any new highs or new lows. It's just stagnant, right? It's just spending time in an enclosed area, not going higher, not going lower, right? That is, in simple words, that is what structure is. Now, how it is going to help you with when to start to get interested in a particular trade. Um, so when you figured out the direction to what your bigger time frame is trying to do, right? Uh, for instance, let's say you're in an uptrend, your 60 minutes is doing higher highs and high lows, and your pullback starts to come in, right? You establish the fact that you are in an uptrend, you're into his play zone. This buyer that bought from down here went all the way up to there. As long as you're above this on your big boy time frame, that is 60 minutes, you are looking to buy this. And then the pullback starts to come in, and on 15 minutes, let's draw it right next to it. On 15 minutes, the pullback starts to come in, and it starts to put in lower highs and lower lows, right? So the structure on the lower time frame is starting to change. I think that's pretty easy to understand what I'm saying right now, as we've discussed in the previous videos, that if you're looking to buy, the pullback that is going to come in is going to be a downtrend. In an uptrend, your pullback is going to be a downtrend. And in a downtrend, your pullback is going to be an uptrend. So if here you're in an uptrend, your 60 minutes is a buyer, the pullback that is coming in is putting in a structure of lower highs and lower lows, right? Overall, on 60 minutes, when you're a buyer, right, this is a new structure of a higher low and a higher high. It's been putting in the structure of higher lows and higher highs all along, but this also is a new structure that the market is printing, right? A new lower high, I'm sorry, higher low and a new higher high. So that determines whose playground you're dealing with, right? It's not this buyer's playground. It's not this buyer's playground. It's this buyer's playground. So altogether, this is a whole new structure, right? You might have heard the term of structure break and blah 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 in the industry. It's been going around for a while now. The break of structure or BOS or whatnot. So this is simply what it is, as it puts in a new higher high and a higher low and higher high. This is a break of structure. It's continuing with the same structure that it's been putting in before, but this is a new higher high and a higher low, so this is considered as a break of structure. So in your pullback, the pullback is going to be lower highs and lower lows if you're looking to buy, and it's putting in a new structure on a lower time frame of lower highs and lower lows. You might have come across, if you're following a lot of stuff on Instagram or YouTube or whatnot, you might have come across this abbreviation that people have started using a lot these days. It's BOS, right? Break of structure. What does that mean? The logic of that break of structure is in your pullback, the market is putting in lower highs and lower lows, and then that structure of lower highs and lower lows turns into no lower low. It turns into equal highs, or maybe a little bit of a higher high. That is the break of structure. That is what people refer to as BOS. And there's no rocket science to it. It's only logical. But what is the logic behind this BOS? What does that state? The BOS generally, or maybe all the time, it states that your bigger time frame, the 60 minutes, if you're looking at your pullbacks on 15 minutes, is now showing signs and showing interest to buy again. Let me repeat that. Your bigger time frame, the one that you've been trading as your big time frame, if there's a pullback coming in of lower highs and lower lows and it fails to make a lower low, in fact it's an equal low, and then it challenges, it's like the 60-minute buyer is telling the 15-minute seller that I am back. Right? Beware. This is the price I was interested in. There was a point of interest back there somewhere, as we've talked about in the video of important areas of interest. There was a point of interest, area of interest in here somewhere from this buyer. As the pullback is coming in and the price gets there, it's like this buyer on the 60 minutes is saying, okay, I'm back now. I've seen enough. I want to see what you can do now. Talking to the seller. You've been putting in lower highs and lower lows, but this is the price I was interested in, and now I've countered your lower low. I've challenged your lower high, or maybe even gone a little bit higher. That is a plus sign, because if we put in the momentum back in the topic altogether, why am I going in the replay mode? I'm not supposed to. But how do I get rid of this? Okay, from here. Okay, well, okay. So with the momentum, if we get back to how we started this topic, and we said that momentum and market structure go hands in hand most of the times. Now the momentum, let me just clear all of these brushes and let's do this one more time again, and then we'll go to the charts, we'll look at a few examples, and we'll move forward to the next video afterwards. Let me just get rid of all of these. I'm sorry, I'm not very tech savvy, so it takes me a little time. See, just like that. Yeah. All right. Okay. I think this is enough. Okay. So if you join hands, if momentum joins hand with the market structure, it's like the momentum, overall momentum of my bigger time frame, that is 60 minutes. Let's put it down here again. The overall momentum of my bigger time frame, that is 60 minutes, is up, up, and up. Right? Now, in that momentum of higher highs and high lows, on the lower time frame, there's a pullback coming in that's putting in lower highs and lower lows. That in itself is a structure. But the momentum of this pullback is slower in comparison to this, as we discussed in the previous video. If it takes 1 day for the price to get here from here, then it's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days for the price to get down there. Okay, so the momentum is still with the buy side. Now, in this downtrend where you're marking your new territories, as we discussed in the previous videos, What you want to see is this 60-minute buyer coming back with momentum, of course, in comparison to this. It you know, if it's coming back with a bang, it's gonna be the momentum to the upside initially is gonna be faster or at least equal to the strength of how it came down, right? The momentum is what we're talking about right now. Mixing it up with the market structure, we're gonna get there. So it should at least be equal in power or in momentum to how it came down, or faster or stronger would be better, of course, logically, right? If you look at the logic of it, if it's this buyer who's been holding the momentum to the upside, if he's coming back, then he's got to come back to show you that he's back, right? It shouldn't be like this is one candle down, this is 7 candles up. That's not how it should be. Does that mean that the bigger time frame is back with more power? No, it does not. That is where the momentum comes in, where you read your break of structure or your bigger time frame coming back or whatnot. Right? I hope it makes sense. You're looking at the strength of both the parties, the buyers and the sellers. And that is how you're logically taking the decision of, okay, I'm almost ready to get in on this trade. I want to see a couple more things to, be more sure, to wait out the best price that is going to be available, blah, blah, blah. That's going to come down the road. Right? So step by step, as we started with the new territories of higher highs and higher lows, and the playing fields of buyers and sellers, after determining the direction. After we've determined the direction, we come to the structure of, on a lower time frame, my pullbacks coming in with a structure of lower highs and lower lows. And then what I want to see is my bigger time frame come back and challenge or break that structure of lower highs and lower lows, and try and start to put in a new structure. Try and start to put in a new structure that goes hands in hands with the higher time frame structure. I hope what I'm talking about is making sense, because I cannot make it easier. Trust me, I cannot make it any easier than this. Right? Now, let's go to the charts, do some quick examples, and we'll call it a video. All right. I'm going to go to the charts now. Okay, here we go. The example from live market that I've been looking at myself for the past couple days. 60 minutes is your bigger time frame. The sell kicks in hard and fast. It goes all the way down there. Arguable if this is the the playing field of the seller, or if this is the playing field of the seller, but does not really matter, because you're looking at the pullback that is coming in a higher high and higher low sequence, right? So now, after you've established the fact that the price started from here, went all the way down to there, this is the playing field of this seller. It's his territory as long as we're in between all of this stuff, right? Now, as it's come down, how much time did it take to come all the way down to there? It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. 12 hours, half a day from up there to down here. How much time is it taking to go all the way back up there? Right? First of all, we're going to take a look at the momentum. We did some examples in the last video also, but now that we're going to talk about these things hands in hand, we're going to take them together. All right, so it's starting from here, going all the way down to there. Now I'm reading my pullbacks on 15 minutes. A quick question for you guys: is this the pullback that has started? Like let me clear all these brushes first. I'm so sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me clear all of these brushes. Okay. So the 1 hour move that we took a look at, it started there, it went all the way down to there, right? Where does your pullback begin? Is it this? Is it this? Where does your pullback start to begin? Pause the video, take some time, try and figure out and come back. And if you've answered this, you're correct. If you've answered this, you're wrong. Again, your pullback in a downtrend is gonna be higher highs and higher lows, right? It does try and make a higher low. It does try and make a higher high, but it fails, right? This is a fake out. You're putting in lower highs, lower lows. You have one higher low, but you do not have a higher high. You still do not have a higher high. It's at this point when you have a higher high, and that is the higher low that starts the pullback, right? Now, as we've practiced before, you are starting to mark your new territories on the lower time frame in the opposite direction. That is a downtrend. So here you got a break or a break of structure, if you may, a new higher high and high low. On this time frame, the uptrend has started. Puts in a higher low, goes in for a higher high. Puts in probably an equal low higher than this, so we will not consider this a low, we'll consider this a low. And higher low, higher high, higher low, sorry, keeps making higher highs and higher lows, but now it picked up momentum here. Strong buy, shallow sell. Strong buy, weak shallow sell. What's happening here? Number one, your bigger time frame is still a sell. The momentum on your pullback is starting to die. It's not dead yet, but it's starting to die. And then a strong, with power, sell comes back that actually puts in a lower high and a lower low. Your higher time frame structure is a lower high and lower low. Your lower time frame starts to put in higher high and higher low. And then the same time frame starts to put in a lower high and a lower low. What is this? BOS. Break a structure. It's breaking the structure of higher highs and higher lows. An indication that your bigger time frame, that is 1 hour, is coming back with power and is saying, okay, I'm back now. And then I want to see how the buyer, your recent buy territory, right? It was this buyer that bought last. Let me clear all these brushes, dude. All right. There we go. There we go. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So in these sequences of higher highs and higher lows, it was this buyer that bought from down there, went through this to put in a higher high, and then as the sell comes in, compare the powers between this to this, right? It's pretty evident that the bigger time frame is getting interested now. It's not interested yet, completely interested. You don't hit it just as it comes back. I mean, of course, if you are a conservative trader or you use bigger stop losses, that is fair, right? You want to see your higher time frame come back, and then you can obviously pull the trigger if you have bigger time frames. The way I trade, bigger stop losses. The way I trade, I want my stop loss to be as little as possible because that's the risk to reward game, right? Anyway, so break a structure. If you draw a trend line, break a structure. If you're looking at your territories, on the miniature territories, break a structure. This is where you start to get interested. Start to get interested that, okay, it's going to be soon. It's not right now, it's going to be soon. And that part we're going to discuss in the upcoming videos. But I hope this made sense to all of you. Let's do a quick buy example, and then we'll call it a video. Let me just dollar CAD. Okay, yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I was studying this, and in fact, the other day in the last video, it's a very good example of the buys that happen with momentum, break of structure, blah blah blah, and talk about this. Okay, so your higher time frame, that is 60 minutes in my case. Strong buy, pullbacks coming in. The last bit of sell that happened in this pullback, lower highs and lower lows. Higher low, a massive higher high, and starts to shallowly pull back slowly, right? Break of structure, lower highs, lower lows coming in, massive buys come in, go through all the previous sells that had been happening. Your miniature sell territories started here, came here, through all of this noise, it's still his territory, the sell that happened up there, until you have a breakthrough here. It's his territory, started here, went all the way down to there, pulled back, new seller territory in this lower high, lower low sequence, and then new buyer's territory. It's as if this buyer's back in it. This is back with the bang, right? This is back with the bang. So on this time frame, on 60 minutes, your buyer from maybe an even higher time frame is back now. So now you're down to 15 minutes and you're reading your pullbacks. Let's just clear all of these drawings, right? Let's just remove all of these drawings, and here we are. We're talking about this buyer from 60 minutes. And on 15 minutes, take a look at this. You can see that it was this as a seller's territory, then this as a seller's territory. The price came all the way up to here, held for a little while as if this seller is trying to take the price lower, but then it started from here, shot up, and all the way to there, right? So then this becomes your previous threshold of where the price broke out from, because you can see a little bit of noise in here. So the price breaks through and then starts to pull back. Pull back. From this higher high, a higher low to higher high, you have a lower low and a lower high, right? So you start marking your territories. This seller that started from up there went all the way down there, pulled back, cannot go lower, pulled back, cannot go lower, pulled back, and then goes lower. As it goes lower, what happens next? The buyer from your higher time frame comes back. How is the momentum? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 very choppy candles to go all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4 very beautiful solid candles to go all the way back up. Went a little higher also. What do we have? BOS. No rocket science. Break of structure. My buyer is back. And then I want to see a couple of things to see if he's, gonna take us for higher highs and whatnot. Anyway, hope this topic was helpful. Now we're gonna get into even advanced stuff as we move forward. So I want you all to practice as much as you can, and so that it's beneficial. It's actually beneficial for you guys. All right, see you in the next video. Cheers.